We all got to touch a daddy issue.
I think we all do, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because either they weren't there, or they were there but not really, or they were there and just not good at what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's had, like, a stellar fucking...
How do we change that?
I don't know. I think...
Is it because people are more, like, intellectual now? So, like our generation and the generation below us and all that stuff are, like, all, like, into therapy and stuff like that? You think it's going to change?
It might.
Because people also have mommy issues.
For sure. Don't you feel like it's more men that have mommy issues?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about
and
this
girls
yesterday.
have, well, no, guys have daddy issues too.
Well, yeah, no, we were talking about this yesterday. Me, Jerry, Marlon, and Thomas went to dinner before we went to my friend's musical.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was just saying, I have my friend Julianne who listens to this, so she'll hear this, but like, out of the woodwork, she'll like come out with a talent. Like all of a sudden she sings and like acts and is and I'm just like, what else have you been hiding from us your entire life?
Singing is like hard too.
She can sing, actually.
Like I thought I
Gooped
could.
and gagged I was. Not that I didn't believe in her, but I was like, huh.
I thought I could sing.
No,
and
I
then I got up
absolutely
there
can't.
and it was like, you don't know. Like I can sing along and like hear the beats.
Yeah.
But there's no carrying a tune for me.
No.
Like
it's
zero.
Not. You want to know what? I try to, I can't even in my class when I'm coaching, like after like a really hard, like choreographed piece, I can't even be like, woo, because my voice like cracks on the mic. Yeah. Like I can't even hit that.
I'll even be talking and then my voice will be like, and I'm like, oh, am I going through puberty
Or you just
again?
like have a stroke up there. Marlon's like, these people keep coming to your class. I'm not sure why, because you're constantly like, or like I have them in a stretch after, and I'm like, this really, lean forward for your what is this here? Like, I can't even, like, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
When I'm
I'm a
tired
fraud.
or after, like, teaching a nighttime class, like, now you're teaching Tuesday nights, right? After a full day of, like, talking to people and work, at the end of the day, then I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
I'm going to get back to my original point, but Tuesday nights is hard for me because it's like, it's fucking Tuesday. It's 6 p.m. So like the day ended an hour ago and then you had to find some motivation in the next 60 minutes to get yourself from point A to point B. And then everyone gets there. The fucking energy is low.
Yeah.
You got to carry the energy. I've started calling it out and being like, okay, Tuesday, like it sucks in here right now. So like we got to really turn it around because it's so hard to, and it's really hard to motivate. It's hard to be the motivator for the people who are like,
you're carrying the energy.
Yeah. It's sometimes I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I'll always just be like, I know, like we're here. It's 45 minutes. Like we've got this, because it's like, that's it. That it's 45 minutes, you're in, you're out, and then your day is. I always say that Adelina like in Gold Coast, I'm always like, their happy hour goes till 7, so you still got time to get there. Like stupid jokes.
Yeah,
because I'm fucking hilarious.
Literally the other day, I was like, you guys don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, but here we are. Like, but anyways, my original point was the four of us were talking, and we were talking about we were having a conversation about therapy. And it was Thomas that was like, is it just like can we just all say that we have a daddy issue? Like, and then Marlon was like, well, my dad's dead. And I was like, well, that feels like an issue. And then he was like, well, before he died, and then told like a traumatic story. I was like, yeah, we all do have.
I always say this, like, because when I was younger, I saw this family and I was like,
it's picture perfect.
When my parents were like fighting or whatever, I'd be like, oh my God, like, why can't we be like the whatever family last name?
Yeah.
And I literally on the outside, I was like, they were perfect. Like everybody looked at them as like a perfect family. And then lo and behold, he cheated on the mom. They got divorced, like, and really, truly, like, not like rip the family apart, but like it really did like tear the family apart to the point where like children didn't talk to the dad anymore. And I like,
dude, yeah,
that
that's
literally
like
like did not see that coming. Like where I was like, what in the world? And it's true. Like, you don't know. And it's the same thing with like if we want to take it broader to like Instagram and people you see and celebrities, and you're just like, you don't know what's actually going on behind closed doors.
No,
because
I know.
it looks so, everybody tries to put out like, who's really going to be like, yeah, my parents fight all the time. And like, yeah, like I think my dad's
real
seeing
shithole
like,
at my house.
Yeah, like no. And even that was like the days before Instagram. Like I was probably like 12.
On a facade.
Yeah, even like the days before Instagram and stuff like that, you still were putting on this like this outward picture that, for lack of everything's fine.
Yeah,
you know?
no, yeah.
That, like, everything is perfect and amazing. And, and this also was, like, therapy was becoming, like, more of a thing, too, where, like, your therapist would help you, like, guide through it. Like, now where I'm like, wow, it's so vulnerable to share, like, the problems that you have in life with, like, the world.
Yeah, it's like I just think it's funny that, I don't know, you don't expect... I guess kind of, though, as a kid, like, I always a little bit knew, like, I was like, something's not right here. Like, with these people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really sure that they like each other.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think it was ever perceived that way on the outside, but I don't know, just strange. We all got fucking problems.
We all do. Yeah. Like,
It's
families
crazy.
are not perfect. And, like...
But it also gives me, like, fucking PTSD about getting married.
Well, I also feel, though, like, when I think about, and I was saying this a little bit before, like, when I think about our generation or, like, generations in the future, like, Gen Z, whatever's after them, they're more open.
Whatever fucking letters are falling after that.
They're more open to, like, self-care. And, like, if you think about, like, I was reading something online because Alex Earl just launched or, like, just invested in, like, an alcohol
Yes,
brand.
I saw that.
And there was this whole question around, like, well, we see a younger generation drinking less.
Mm-hmm.
But Alex Earl is kind of that, like, we look up to this generation. Like, we look up to her, and she's promoting alcohol. So what, like, how is this going to change? What's going to change? Whatever. But I do think there's more, not intellectual, but people are more willing to, like, dive into themselves and go to therapy and get deeper and, like, figure out, like, when Darius and I were going through, like, a really rough time, I was like, you're going to therapy. Like, go to like, we can go to couples therapy, and we did, but it was big for him to go to therapy on his own.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of older generations who are like, I don't want to go to therapy. Like, I don't need it. I'm fine.
No, my mom went through, like, all the trauma of, like, her whole story and divorce and all those things and whatever. And she went to therapy, and she literally was like, she was looking for someone to sit there and tell her that she was right, and, like, that's not what was happening. And she's like, so I didn't return. I was like, lady, that's, like, not how that fucking
But
works.
I've had that too, where my current therapist, she said something to me, and it hit me to the point of, like, whoa. Like, the most honest a therapist has ever been to me. Because I've had a lot of therapists that, like, they've kind of just been like, you're great. Like, everything's great, like, kind of surface level. And she's like, no, like, this is what's going on. Like, this is actually what's going on, and you can take it or leave it. And so, like, I left and was like, I think I'm firing her. And it took me a few days to kind of be like, no, I needed to hear that, but that was really fucking hard to hear. And once I told her the next session, I was like, I almost fired you. And she was like, whoa. She's like, I didn't realize it, like, hit that hard. Like, because I played it off like,
Yeah.
but I left being like, that was really straightforward, really hard to hear.
Have you ever been in therapy and felt uncomfortable saying, like, you still aren't saying all the things?
100%, yeah.
Isn't that a crazy concept?
I had this one therapist in New York that I finally was like, I did cocaine last weekend, and I had a panic attack, and I hated this and I hated that, whatever it was, when I was in New York. And I was so honest with her. And I was like, I've never been that honest prior. Now I am, but, like, prior, I had, like, never been honest, told anybody about anything. I just more so was like, I, like, don't know why I'm anxious, and, like, everything's great, and, like, I'm eating.
Yeah.
You're not, but, like, when you finally, and there are still things where I'm like, it feels almost like embarrassing or something, where, like, you're gonna say it, and the natural human instinct is like, am I gonna be judged for this?
Yeah.
And so you're like, am I holding back?
Yeah, or just sometimes it just feels, like, uncomfortable to actually say, like, things that you're, like, kind of ashamed of, or that you're out loud, even though you're talking to your fucking person that, like, you're literally, I'm like, I'm literally fucking paying this bitch
to not tell anybody.
Yeah, and I'm literally paying this bitch to not judge me and listen to everything that I'm saying, and I still can't, sometimes I still can't even be like.
It's hard.
No, it is. It's just an interesting concept because
100%. No, there's still to this day things where I'm like, do I want to say it? Do I not want to say it? Because in the back of my mind, I kind of know what she's going to say back to me.
Yeah.
Because you kind of already know, like in the back of your mind, you're like ashamed for a reason.
You're like, that was wrong.
And you're like, okay. Or you're like, you don't want to say it about someone else that you love because then you're like, well, they're going to judge them.
Yeah.
But it's, again, you know this.
Yeah.
You know you're judging them in that way. You just don't want to type of thing.
Yeah. Strange. Well, anyways, how are you otherwise? How was your week? How you doing?
Week was crazy. I started off the week.
I got a fucking voice note from Jordan in the middle of the week, and she was like, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was not doing so hot this beginning of the week. Really, really not doing hot. Again, that's something where I'm like, I really wish I could go into this, but maybe in a few months I can.
Soon, yeah. Soon we're gonna have a fucking tell-all.
Yeah.
Get the popcorn. Grab a relaxing seat. Get yourself a cocktail.
That'll be a good app.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
But yeah, the week started off really rough, and then as the week went on, Darius and I had a date night, and we went to Indian. Have you ever heard of it? It's like the Michelin star Indian restaurant in River North. Delicious. You have to definitely like Indian flavors.
Food. Yeah.
But very unique. It's like a coursed meal only. You get vegetarian or non. And usually with those like coursed meals and everything's like bite sized, like a bite, you're never full. We were like, I was stuffed at the end, and there was an option to like add a lobster course, and we were like, no, which I'm really happy we did because I was like, I'm so full right now, but it was delicious. And then yesterday was St. Patrick's Day in the city.
Dude, these fucking people, I was getting on the elevator early to go teach my class, and there was people that were already had cases of beer and were like sloshed. And I just was like, how do these people do it?
I taught 8:45 in West Loop, and so I left at about 8 o'clock. So I like to get there, I like to get a coffee and then go. So at 8 a.m., I am driving through the streets of River North into West Loop, that kind of taking that route. Lines around the corner. I'm like, it's 8 a.m.
Let me tell you something about me and my 32 years of age. I will not a single time going forward wait in a line at a fucking bar.
One, not wait in a line, and two, I'm not paying a ticket. You know how people pay shit on New Year's or
not.
I'm not paying a ticket.
No.
I am not going to spend $100 to get beer that I don't drink.
One champagne flute or something.
I do not drink beer, so I don't
either.
give a shit if it's green or not.
No, me neither.
The food you're probably serving me sucks, and I paid $100, let's just say, and I'm still waiting in a line.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You will not catch me waiting in these I mean, I get people love it. But
what do you love about it though? You're literally in a bar like a sardine.
Please fucking tell us.
You are literally like a sardine.
Yeah, it's not a good time. It's not a good time, and I just I was watching these people on the way to my class, on the way back from my class, and I was like, me and Marlon walked down Damon, onto Milwaukee to get a coffee, or what did we get? Something to eat after my class really quick. I was first of all, it was so windy yesterday, and I was bobbing and weaving as it was.
Did you notice people carrying jugs? Large jugs
yes.
Like a water jug, but then in it, so we stopped someone to be like, what the fuck are you carrying?
Yeah.
Because where are the police? Aren't you supposed to not allow people
where are the police?
To carry open alcohol on the streets? Mm-hmm. Even though when I was younger, I would carry a Sprite or a Gatorade or something with alcohol in it, whatever. So people are carrying around tubs of water jugs, and then in it is an electrolyte, vodka, and some mixer or something, which smart. You're doing electrolytes. Yeah,
I guess you guys are getting the fucking self-care.
But I was like, this is everybody had a jug with something written on it. It was crazy.
Weird. I mean, I'm not knocking. Again, I always revert back and say that I was a fucking animal in my early 20s. I was a fucking animal, and
I think it's just where we are now. I'm not going to do that now.
I feel I'm seeing people that are our age and older that are still hanging with the 20-year-olds, and I'm just I don't understand how you guys are fucking doing it. And again, this does not discredit me. I'm a great fucking time. I just don't want to stand in a line at a fucking bar all day.
Friday night, too, Darius and I went to our friend's house, and they're in Lincoln Park, and it was such a beautiful day on Friday. We were
it was really
we
nice
walked there and walked home, which
it was
an
literally
hour walk.
Summer the last 2 days, now it's fucking snowing.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be summer again tomorrow.
I'm not okay with it. But so we decided we were going to walk there and walk home. So we walk home, and it's Friday night, the night before the River Dive, whatever.
Yeah.
River Shannon, the bar, and all down Wells. I mean, sardines, packed.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, these people are now going to wake up the next day and do this all again. How?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like
I'm a dead person.
we saw people on the way home last night because I didn't get home till like midnight last night just because this musical was out.
Damn.
Out in
Late
fucking
night.
2 nights in a row. I was out late. Oh my God, wait till I tell you what I did on Friday.
Well, I was about to say, how's your week?
Yesterday, so I was driving home so late, there was people still sitting at Matchbox. It's this little bar around the corner at 12 with their fucking like shamrock necklaces and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, you people have fucking been out since 8 o'clock.
How?
It's midnight. Get home.
They've got to be doing drugs.
They
Like, there's
gotta
no
be.
way.
Which again, like these days, I'm telling you, I'd rather be doing drugs than drinking. But like, I'm like, I don't fucking understand. Whatever. So Friday night, me, Dem, Marlon, and Thomas went to see Mario and Neo opened for Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
At the United Center. She called me and she's like, my mom won these tickets through her church group. I was like, what are the Catholic Greeks doing that they got fucking like front row seats to Mary J. Blige? She's like, do you want to go? And I was like, yes, because we all remember Mary J. Blige's like Super Bowl performance.
Yes.
And she was like twerking and getting down with it. And she
Yes.
put on a fucking show. I was like, this is going to be a great fucking show. I can't wait. So we go. We were like, we missed like Mario's set. Okay, also, what show goes on right at the time that it's listed these
None.
days? It said it started at 7. Demi was like, I'll pick you guys up at 7:45. I was like, okay, great. So we missed his like little set, but we got there and Neo was on and like,
Ugh, love Neo.
but he crammed like, he did that thing where he did like bits of each song.
Yeah, 50
And I was
Cent
like,
did
give me
that.
the whole fucking thing,
yeah.
you know?
Pick 3 instead of 20.
Yeah. And it was still really good. And then like there's like a half hour that goes by where they change the stage out for her and all this stuff. And then she comes out. Something's wrong with Mary.
Uh-oh.
Something's wrong with Mary. I was like, what is she, 70 years old? She's 54. Okay.
She was just standing.
She was just, she came out and like, they did this whole dramatic, like, okay, so they had the United Center set up where there was like a big stage on the right and then a smaller stage on the left. And they had this whole fucking setup with these curtains and like, they had this cool effect where the ceiling literally like, the curtains.
Yeah.
And then she came out on the other side. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? And then she like came out and she just like was standing and like not really singing and then like crouching down to like shake people's hands. And I was like, what? And then she like rode this thing to the other side. And then you could tell she was having a hard time getting, like, I was like, something's wrong with her knees. Cause you know, her thing is the boots.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the really high
The
ones.
really high. And I was like, maybe we should have just done a sneak for this event so you could move around,
Yeah.
sis. Like, it was very underwhelming. I mean, that bitch can still sing. She still got it.
Yeah. It's
And the
just
classics
more...
are still the classics, but I was looking for like a performance.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. Didn't
That's
get it.
sad.
I was
Doesn't
like,
that make you
something's wrong.
sad?
Yeah, I was like really.
Also, only 54. You should get your
Still
knees
got.
checked
I was
out.
looking at her and I was like, I'm pretty sure my mom can
Yeah.
pop, lock, and drop it if she needed to right now. And
Same.
she's 63. Like
75. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, but it was a free event. It was a good time.
Well, how was your
and I left the
final week
house.
of fun employment?
It was good. Honestly, I haven't been like just chilling. Like
Well,
I keep finding
obviously.
shit to do, but
Who just chills? Not us.
not me. Yeah, like I'm like, why do I'm somehow I have more jobs than I just had. Like, it's too much.
And wait, do a humble brag. Taylor is now a certified personal trainer.
Oh, I am. I did. I took my CPR. Wait, did I tell you about this experience too? I have so much to say. This is going to be so fucking all over the place today, but this is what we're here for. So it's a proctored.
Yes.
Okay.
So that you don't like look at your book.
Right. Which there's two, like you can take the one that's not proctored. It's just like not NCCA accredited, which like who the fuck cares? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But anyways, I was just like, whatever, I'll do it. Okay, so I've taken proctored online exams for nursing certifications, okay, in which my job is to save the lives of human beings.
Yes.
So it's important that I know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not important that I know what the fuck's going on,
Yeah.
but it like can't be that serious. So I log in and I've used this same system. It's like PSI or something. I've used this system before for certifications. So I log in. You got to show them like your surrounding environment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do like the pan. Your mic is on so that they can hear you or whatever. No, this person that was my proctor, we fought several times. First of all, they were like,
Not surprising Taylor fights with the proctor.
I'm like, they're like, you didn't show me the ceiling or the floor. And I was like, I didn't know that was pertinent information. But okay, so like I up the camera and then I down. Then I'm sitting at like my island in my kitchen. And they're like, there's a lot of items to your left. But it's like my kitchen counter. So it's like a bowl of fruit.
Yeah.
And like whatever. So I was like, can I just move down a seat? And they were like, sure. So then I moved down. Well, then I had to pan the whole situation again, even though I just did that and we showed.
So
then,
it's very serious.
Then my Dawn dish soap is on the side of they're like, you're too close to that bottle. And I was like, the Dawn dish soap? Like, what do you think I'm doing?
You've got answers written in the soap.
In microscopic I have great vision, but not enough to like.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, so I have to move the bottles down. And then they're like, please show a camera view in which the bottle is in the frame and you have your arm extended so I can see that you can't reach the.
What
and
the
I was
fuck
like,
are you doing with
what kind
this
of fucking
bottle?
Houdini shit do you think I'm doing? Don't you think if my entire body is in the frame and I reach for this fucking soap, you're going to be able to see? So I got to do this. And then they want me to show them the other side that I already showed them. And then I had my water, my Stanley. No, not allowed. Has to be a clear bottle. I said, what do you fucking think I got?
I don't want microplastics.
What do you think I fucking got in here? So then finally I start, okay? I'm probably 3 minutes into this fucking exam. I turn my head slightly just to itch the back of my head. They lock me out of the exam. And they were like, it's like warning, like turning your head to look at other options can be like an indication of disqualification. Like, please do not look at anything else in the room besides the exam. I literally was like out loud. I was like, I was itching my head.
Oh my God.
So then I itched my head. If we get back, she lets me back. Well, I don't know. He, she, they let me back in. And then I just was like sitting on my counter like this, like my hand was kind of in front of my mouth. She's chatting me. Please remove your hands from your mouth. I'm like, this is the most. When I took my critical care certification, I think the bitch was just like, go ahead. And I was like, I'm done now. And she was like, have a good day. Like in the middle, I was like, I messaged her and I was like, I really have to pee. She was like, go ahead, go to the bathroom. Like,
wait, that's insane. Like to become a personal trainer.
yes. I was like, I get it. But at the same time, like it cannot be this serious. And then a car.
So now I'm going to be feared to take my own.
Well, I just hope you have a nicer proctor.
Yeah.
A car horn starts going off, and then I get a chat that's like, we're picking up some background noise in your frame. Can you explain what's going on? I was like, someone's car alarm's going off? I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do about that. It was so fucking aggressive. They're
going to see my dogs and be like, not allowed.
Yeah.
Like, do you think I've trained my dog to bring me something
sit?
to
and
like
then
cheat?
They gaslit me because at the beginning they were like, please let us know when you're done before exiting. So I was like, okay. So then I get done and I put in the chat, okay, I'm done. And they were like, just click the exit button. And I'm like, you fucking told me.
Oh my God.
To let you know, it was the craziest thing ever. So yeah, that's my.
But she passed.
But I passed, yeah. So
and I still have to do mine.
I'm here for all
and I
your-
bought the test way before Taylor.
That's okay. I'm gonna talk about what you really need to know, and we'll
Yeah,
go
no.
I'll give you a little
to
tutorial.
I need to do it before.
It's not
like
that
to get it
serious.
done. Add it to my list before the
I'm
wedding.
over here like, it's not that serious. All these personal trainers are going to come for me. They're going to be like, what the fuck do you mean it's not that serious? I mean, like, it's not, it's doable. Yeah. It's not anything crazy.
Okay, but the rest of your
anyways.
fun employment, good.
Fun employment was great. I mean, I was busy. I told you I've been focusing on my self-care stuff. So I've been doing all that. Yeah, bopping around. I'm trying to, like, actually... I went to Mary J. Blige because I'm trying to actually like leave my house and do things now that it's getting nicer instead of just default and be like, stay home.
That's like, I feel like though all of Chicago, like now that it's nicer, people like emerge. Like it was really nice to see the past 2 days when it is nice, Chicago kind of like come to life.
No, it is. And I think especially aside from today, which is like weirdly fucking cold, but I think we've entered spring actually.
Yeah.
And people are just happier to like be doing things.
I was saying to Darius just like Friday night going for like a 2-hour walk where we walked there and back. I was like, we just need to do this more. And he's like, it's been freezing. And I'm like, I know, but like that reminder of like, this is just so nice.
I was just
like,
saying this. I love a fucking walk.
yeah, like, and you're not, it truly wasn't like, like we're exercising. It was more just like leisurely going, leisurely back. And like, obviously we have 2 dogs and Jake's a little bit older, so he can like do a little, but I'm going to get that like front, almost like a child carrying thing for him so I can carry him.
You should get him a stroller.
You know, I don't want to.
No.
Like,
You don't want to be a dog stroller mom.
No.
Okay.
I just don't. I'd rather
When
be
you
a
have
dog
kids, are you going to be
carrying.
that mom that's like running with the stroller, you think? Are you going to be a
Maybe.
fitness stroller mom?
Probably. I
Okay.
can see myself being like
I can
that.
see you being that too.
But there's something about like the dog in the stroller that I can't get on board. Like my mom was going to get one because her dog, like literally, her one dog doesn't walk. And I was like, no. She's like, but he doesn't walk and I want him to walk. And I'm like, okay, well, like, don't get a stroller. I don't know. I don't like it. It's weird.
It bothers you? Yeah. Okay. You know what bothers me? I saw this the other day when the kid's on the leash in a line.
So okay, it's so sad, but I also like understand because you've got like
I know
2
you
adults
like, don't
and
want them
like
to
20
run away,
kids.
but like something feels wrong.
You know what though is worse when it's just one child and their parent.
Yeah,
and,
and they're
child's
on a fucking leash.
Like
And you're
that's like
You're like, you didn't think you could keep a hold of your one child for the afternoon?
I don't
You guys are
know.
going to the fucking museum.
I'm like, I just can't imagine being like, come on, kid, let's go. Let's do it. Like,
No,
on
and
a
if I
fucking leash.
had a child and it was attached to a leash, I'd be yanking that bitch all over the place. Like, there's no way that it would be a leisurely stroll with me and my leashed kid.
No,
it's not for me.
I'm not a leashed kid person.
What other fucking
thank
hot
you.
takes do we got today?
Oh, tell me about the Facebook
Okay, so I
thing.
have a hot take. I have a fucking hot take. So I'm in.
I wonder if I've seen it.
I'm in the. You've seen this dating thing. It's Are We Dating the Same Guy
Yes.
groups. Okay, so
Which they have it all around in every city.
They do. So I was in one in Rochester because I was dating then. And then I actually got into the one in Chicago after I was already in a relationship because I posted something for someone asked me to post something for them. It was a misconnection thing. So I applied to get in and got accepted or whatever. And so truthfully, okay, I love tea and like I love to like a giggle and I love to see what's going on and I find it entertaining, okay?
100%.
And
my friends have screenshotted and sent me all the stuff
especially
that's in
when
there.
people are like, listen to this tragic fucking story and then everyone in the comments is like, ooh, sis, like, you know, like I love.
Yeah.
But I'm scrolling the other day, and mind you, I only keep my Facebook because I post shit for our podcast and
Did
things.
you ever like Google, like we looked up Darius in that group.
Did you?
Yeah. It was like really long time ago though, like before we met.
He was in there?
Thomas?
No.
Yeah, no, we did this like way long ago. I was like, let's look. But it was like so long ago. It was like, he was like 30, so it's like 10 years ago. They were like, he's tall,
I forgot
Lithuanian,
he's an older, distinguished
30.
gentleman.
Yeah.
Gentleman.
So I was like, I didn't even know him back then, whatever. But it was like one person that commented, like, tell me about him. But I was like, this is funny.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. Well, it's not so much here because there's so many people here, but in Rochester, it was like such a
You're
small
all
city
dating the
that,
same
yeah, I
person.
was like, we know all of this about everybody. So, okay, anyways, so this girl posts, oh, all right. And I'm going to preface what I'm about to say by saying, I judge, okay? Like, I'm not going to sit
And
here.
I'm judgment free.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't have my fair share of things to say about people.
Yeah.
And sometimes the way that they look and the way that they act and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to fucking lie to you and say that I don't.
Right.
I'm not standing on the sidewalk
Holding a sign.
screaming
Yeah.
that this person is fucking ugly.
Yeah.
But if I have an opinion, sometimes I say it. So,
We all do.
yes, okay? So, like, I'm fully on that train. But this person gets on, they post anonymously, okay? Which means that they're already, like, not
Straightforward.
feeling comfy with posting about it.
Right.
So this girl posts this picture of this guy, and she's like, I've been seeing him for X amount of months. She gave a, like, defining factor about him without, like, to not give his name. Like, he's in this cover band, whatever,
But with a picture of him?
with a picture of him. Just asking if anyone else is seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not the most attractive guy in my opinion, right? But like, that's not really the fucking point of the question. When I tell you that this post had 3,000 comments on it, and every single comment was a woman being like, don't have to worry about it, sis. He's hideous. He looks like Beavis and Butthead. He this, he that. 3,000 comments of people just fucking ripping what this guy looks like to shreds.
And that wasn't even the question.
To shreds. And like some girl being like, I came to Facebook to find a nail a nail inspo, and here I am like scrolling through all these comments about this guy that's not worth like 2 seconds of anybody's time, like all this stuff. And it took everything in me to not comment on, because it just was like, to me, I have no problem saying what I have to say, but for me to comment on a post that already has 3,000 comments and then like have 90,000 comments, like I'm not accomplishing anything by sticking up for this person that posted this. But like, it took everything for me to not be like, she came here because she clearly likes the guy and she wants to know,
does anybody have tea on him?
is anybody else seeing him? And any response other than, nope, never heard of him before, is fucking inappropriate and rude, especially to like shred this guy's appearance.
Which also, like, that's an ego hit for her.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's an ego hit for him.
And
And
I'm
that's
like-
also go to like last week when we were talking with Demi about like, okay, for women, like you start to get to know someone and their appearance becomes so much more attractive to you. But it's also like, why did you feel like for these people, why did you feel the need to start commenting on his appearance?
But that's what I'm fucking saying. Like, it's 3,000 comments of people just not one single. And granted, like, I obviously didn't go through them all, but like the few that I was scrolling through, like, not one single one was like,
you know
no,
what else?
I've never seen him.
It's like that effect where like one person does it, so then more people start to add on. Like whether they're thinking it or not, like one person starts that trend of like, oh, he's not attractive, and then everyone
Everyone
going
has
down.
to, yeah.
But it's like, and I feel like that's our like cyberbullying world of like, you don't know who Joe Schmo is 25 on Facebook, so I'm going to tell you from, like anonymous.
Yeah. And it's just like, we as women, like, dating is already fucking hard enough.
Yeah.
And like, if you find somebody and you like them, like, we as women should be supporting women in that venture. Like, bottom line, we shouldn't be sitting here being like, because then, and also, so I almost, after I went on that rant, I almost commented a second time, even though I didn't comment a first time, and been like, I'd love to see what all your fucking men look like.
Yeah.
I would love to fucking see it.
I'd love to see what you fucking look like.
Yeah. Because like there's not enough Greek goddess of men on this planet for all of you to have a fucking 12 out of 10 and be bashing this chick.
Yeah.
I just like, because for me.
Also, he could have a huge penis and be an amazing lover and be the nicest
and be the
ever.
nicest, most
Maybe
giving
he's
human
really
being
rich too.
ever.
Who the fuck
and
knows?
like, I'm a shallow ass fucking bitch. Like, I'm not dating you if you're not attractive. Like, it is what it is. Or if I don't find you attractive, rather, that's fine. But like, that's not how it is for everybody. And it's just, if it was me, if I posted a picture of my significant other and I was like, hey, has he seen anybody? And then immediately got 3,000 comments about how fucking ugly he was. Do you know how awful I would feel?
Yeah. Well, and also then you start to be like, is he ugly?
And then exactly. And then it becomes that. It's like, do I even like him? Like, if everybody thinks he's ugly, should I even be with him?
Now are people going to judge me for being with him? Like,
oh my God. It was literally the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen.
This poor
the way
fucking
that I
girl.
had 19 different things typed out, and then I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I think that's not what that site is for.
No.
And people take advantage of that site all the time, and like the entire point is just to be like.
Group, but I have friends who are in the group who have been like, we've found like my friend was. This is a good story, but I have to figure out how to say it so people don't know like who it is, which I don't think they would. But my friend was talking with this guy, and she really liked him. But the problem is she was like, this is his name. And she gave first and last, and we started Googling him, and nothing came up. Which, like, if you're not Googleable...
Oh, yeah, this is a good story.
That's weird. Like, if we can't find anything about you...
If we can't find a LinkedIn or a...
And granted, people don't have social media.
Or like your like high school or college athlete page where you were like
everybody had a
as...
MySpace at one point.
Yeah.
Like, you were on the internet. So I was like, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird. And she was just like, no, like, he's amazing. Like, this is him. And I'm like... My anxiety is like, you're going to get killed. He's a serial murderer. Like, do not.
Yeah.
And she's like, this free spirit, like, whatever. And I'm like, no, like, do not. So I was like, I need your location.
You don't have to be social media involved, but you need to be findable or else it's fucking weird.
There's got to be something. Plus the fact she like said he worked for schools or something. And I was like, if you work for a school, you've got to be
You're on the internet.
because there's like sex offenders and shit like that.
Yeah,
so,
there's
like,
rules. There's laws. There's legalities here.
So that's really where like my red flag radar was like, something's off. So I was like, all right, this is weird. So long story short, she like has a whirlwind weekend with him. Everything's amazing. And he completely ghosts her for like a week or two. And I'm like, blessing in disguise, let him go. But to her and to women too, like it's like this love bombing where you're like, we just had so much fun. We were intimate together. Like, this is amazing. And then it's nothing. Yeah. And so I can understand where you're in this vulnerable state and just like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it's all going to be okay. It'll be fine. Like, whatever. And she's like, whatever. Also had a phone number for him. And when we Googled the phone number, nothing came up, which again is weird.
Yeah.
Because like even like I got a random, like someone paid me $100 and I was like, I don't know who the fuck this is. And then he ended up calling and texting me being like, I'm so sorry I accidentally Zelled you $100. And I'm like, I don't fucking care who you are, but I did Google his number and it did match up. So I was like, okay, I can Zell you back. But it's still weird, you know?
You're a stand-up citizen.
I know.
You really
Darius
fucking are.
was like,
I would have been like,
$100.
that $100 is mine, sir.
And I'm like, oh my God, whatever.
And And this is how we teach. This is life lessons, deep attention to detail. So
Yes.
better luck next time.
So so long story short, like phone wasn't searchable. He wasn't searchable. So like red flag radar went up. 2 weeks later, he reappears and I was like, say goodbye. Like this is probably him reappearing to murder you. And she was like, I'm going to go get coffee with him.
You're going to come back without your eyeballs in your toes.
Yeah.
So.
I'm like, you stay in a public place. So she gets coffee with him. She ends up finding his license plate. And if you try to Google someone's license plate, it's actually illegal. Like, you can't do that. I didn't know that.
Really?
But if you have friends in law enforcement, they can find the license plate and who it is. We've got friends who have friends in law enforcement. So lo and behold, we find his license plate. It is not his name. He is a whole different person, and he's married.
Perfect. Of course he is.
Unfortunately, I had friends who were friends with the girl.
The wife.
And so
Incredible.
I felt like I needed to say something. And I was like, I don't want to get involved. Like, he seems pretty unstable and pretty scary. And so I was like, I talked to my friend and she was like, why don't you not say my name because I don't want to be involved, but just like give the information and be done. And that's kind of what I did. But then in this Facebook group of Are We Dating the Same Guy? He started coming up and people started commenting, whatever, which is like very sad because I was like, I said, my friend after all of this was like, should I put it in the group? And I was like, no. I was like, that just is more embarrassing to the girl than it is to like this girl or anybody else. Like, it's more embarrassing to his wife.
Yeah.
But I can see the whole like, are we dating the same guy being very resourceful.
Yeah.
When people are going around saying, my name's Sally, but really your name is Jordan. You know?
Yeah. Also, like, clap back for women like that are like, hello, I know you don't know me, but, like, here's some information about your life that you should probably know. I know that there's, like, a stance on that where it's like you should just you don't know this person, keep your fucking mouth shut. But, like, I think that we, like. That
was my whole point was I know this information, and now I know people who know this girl. And I'm like, and more and more I've been hearing amazing things about this girl that I'm like, she deserves to get the fuck out. Like, before you have children, before you get more involved, before, before things get even more complicated than they are, I was like, I just feel like she deserves to know.
I think women always deserve to know. And if you're a woman who's like, I don't want to know, I'd rather not know, then you need to figure out how to love yourself more because that is not fucking okay.
Yes.
Like, if you are turning a blind eye, unless your husband's like a billionaire and you're like, I don't care what he does, I'm just here for the cash, then pop off, sis. Like,
I was just talking to someone
right
about this where we were saying, like, listen, she knows, he sucks. He's a horrible person. But, like, she knew the life that she was getting into. That's her choice.
Yeah.
Like, that's choice.
If she's heading out to her jacuzzi in her fucking Chanel bikini, like.
And her yacht is waiting for her.
Yeah. And, like, her private chef is cooking her
what's the sex life?
Simple salad.
Or are you even having sex? Or do you have your side piece too? Like, I don't know.
I think that's how I would be. I think I would have my own side situation. If he's going to have a side situation and I'm sticking around just for the lifestyle and the cash, I'm having a side situation.
Are you watching White Lotus? Because it's kind of like that.
I heard it's, so I watched the first episode, or the first and second, something like that.
It's very slow.
I heard it's very sexual.
Sexual?
Marlon was like, okay, so Marlon.
I'm trying to think what's sexual about it.
Yeah, he said it's very sensual.
No, it's very, like, there's a little bit of, like, hint of incest. There's a hint of, like, these people are.
He said that he was having a hard time watching it because when he was jobless for a minute, he was like stressed and he prayed to the Lord and he asked the Lord if he.
The Lord?
The Lord. If he could. He's like, I will not drink or do drugs or have sex for a year if you give me a job. And then an hour later, I called him with a job. So he thinks that he owes Jesus
Marlon,
Christ,
you
the
can
Lord.
have sex.
Jesus Christ, the Lord
you
and
can
Savior.
Have drugs, alcohol, anything you want.
This is what he's doing. I don't know. These people that love Jesus, they understand it different than I do. And no shade at all. But he was like, I can't watch White Lotus because it's turning him on. It's sultry. And he's like, I can't handle it because I'm not supposed to be. I don't know. That's just what he said.
Maybe I'm viewing it in a different way. There's like a bit of incest. I mean, he's good looking, the older brother. It's Schwarzenegger's son.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's like, obviously there's always like sex, drugs, alcohol, and murder, in it all. But one of the things is a guy who has a lot of money, and like there's all this just like she doesn't give a shit about him type of thing, whatever. So it is very, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you find true happiness that way, but like, you know, I gotta say, people always say like money doesn't buy happiness.
Because it does.
I gotta fucking tell you. I'm not saying my problems are gonna go away.
No.
But half of my worries are gonna be gone.
This is what I think with money, that it doesn't buy you happiness, but it makes things a lot easier.
It makes things a lot easier.
Like when we make bank, when we start, anybody want to sponsor the podcast?
Yeah.
When we start
for millions of dollars
making
minimum.
money, like monetizing and bringing in more, it's like it makes sense. It makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, like I just need passive fucking income where I don't have to actually do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
And like the ways to make passive income, everyone's like, you just get some real estate. I'm like, yeah, because that's fucking the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You know how many people have told me that?
Let me get some real
fucking
estate.
specifically men have been like, yeah, you should just get some real estate. I'm like, have you like tried to buy a house recently? Because one, I don't think you can.
gotta go to like Durango, Mexico.
Marlon's from Durango, Mexico.
Yes.
Did you know that? So
And
this is what I
buy
told
some
him.
land.
I think that we should use his Mexican VPN and buy ourselves some land
Yes.
in Mexico. And then we can split it and then we can use it when we want and then we can rent it out.
And we could, yes, exactly. And then you like get like you can build, you know what I've been hearing about actually?
Are you about to talk about Italy?
No, Puerto Rico.
Oh.
I guess there's like something there. Puerto Rico, I think, is going to become like India and or Bali, where the like separation of wealth is like you're either really fucking rich or really poor, and there's like no middle class anymore. And in Puerto Rico, people are going down there because I guess it's like you have a job. Wasn't Demi saying about this? No, someone else was telling me about this.
Yeah.
So it's like you buy land and like live there, whatever, but like it's something with like the way that you're not getting like a salary, you're getting like equity, and the equity is like so big or something like that.
Yeah.
Someone can fill us in on that, but it's like something like that, and it's like you're really fucking wealthy there. Why? What's in Italy? Should I buy land in Italy?
So if you go to Italy, there's like several places in Italy. It's not like Milan or like Rome, but like several smaller, like underserved towns. They pay you to move there, and they give you like a salary because they're trying to populate the area.
And I will be healthier,
happier. Like I know Puerto Rico. See, the only thing about Puerto Rico,
you're still in the United States.
I'm feeling cankles. It feels like everything there is salty.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like if you wanted to go
America.
It feels like if you wanted to go to Puerto Rico and order a salad, they'd be like, "We don't know what that is."
There's no vegetables here.
Yeah, like that's what I get nervous about. This is the type of shit I think about. I'm like, if I go to Puerto Rico, like, what am I gonna eat?
Honestly, though, like Puerto Rico, that didn't even come into my mind. Like,
Puerto
I'm
Rican
gonna go
food
to
is
Puerto
delicious. It's very salty.
I don't even know if I know that much about Puerto Rican food, but I was like, that's not like top on my list to move to anyway. You know?
No, but it is very lovely. I mean, it's fucking beach nation.
Yeah.
Like, do you just want to be happy in the sun? I mean, I guess if I was in the sun all the time,
I'd be a lot happier.
I'd be a lot happier.
What we talked about, like Chicago becoming like literally alive again because we've had sun and warmth.
I know. There should be some sort of grant program for all of us to get vacations or therapy based off of our seasonal depression.
You know what? I think we do need to take a note from Italy and from all these places that have holiday, and just like we all get to go on holiday and not just like you get 2 weeks
I stopped
vacation.
calling it vacation a long time ago. I've transitioned to holiday.
But I also think it's like this 2-week vacation shit. I don't think so. I think it's like we need a dedicated time to like go on a holiday. There's a girl who comes to my classes and she's like, I can come to your morning classes now. And I was like, why? She's like, oh, at our job, the longer you're there, you get that amount of weeks of sabbatical on top of like your vacation. So she's been there for 6 years. She gets 6 weeks sabbatical of like no work.
I love that.
I was like, I think that's amazing.
I also think we should only work 4 days a week.
I agree.
I have a lot of notes. Not that I could present that to the government that's currently in house and get anywhere, but like maybe for next time.
Yeah, maybe the next
or when
dictator.
I move to Finland or something.
Yes, that's not one I think he's taking over.
One of the Dutch. They're Dutch, right?
I don't know. You think I know geography? You're incorrect.
Finnish, Swedish.
You're incorrect.
One of those. Yeah, I don't know. We're not. I could go on and on about how I have to get out of this place, but
Yeah,
fortunately, I think
we're
I'm
moving.
stuck
A lot of people were like, "Oh, when you move," like after they listened to our episode about us moving, they were like, "Let us know where you end up." Yeah, I was like, "Okay, all right."
Didn't
then.
I say I think it's easy to go to Portugal? I think it's easy to get Portuguese citizenship.
Honestly, I had a guy who did SEO in Portugal. Loved him, and he always invited me to come.
Yeah.
And he just seemed so happy and like lovely, and he was just always in a good mood. And I was like, I could use more of your
You're
energy.
like, there's absolutely none of that here in the United States.
People are miserable.
Yeah, constantly and all the time.
Besides us.
But like, look at the conditions. No, I'm like the most miserable of them all. These
and
conditions.
I'm like, everything's great.
Yeah, we weren't set up for success.
No,
You know what I mean? So now here we are suffering.
So how are you preparing for your first week of work?
I'm really
not.
I'm really not. I get to work from home tomorrow. Get to go in at 10 on Tuesday. I don't know what the rest of my schedule is. So
Okay.
it's very lax.
Yeah,
It's very,
I like that.
So there's no prep involved.
I like that.
I'm going to get my nails done today because these are fucking criminal.
So I just got my nails done from Erin, Legendary. We've been trying out new tones. This is OPI Bubble Bath with
I fucking love Bubble Bath. She's a classic.
She is a classic with a chrome over, and I do really like it. However, I think it's a little too pink for the wedding. It needs to be a little bit more beige white. So we're gonna go back. I mean,
Luckily,
obviously,
there's
I'm
like
gonna keep this.
37 OPI colors that are just a half a shade off from the one before
I know.
it.
So that's what I think I'm going for. But I do really like this like exploring and trying out new color thing. What color are you gonna go for?
I'm getting a nude.
Okay.
This is so tragic. It's not even funny. Like, I've told you this before. I feel like I have dirty underwear on.
Yeah. It is a little tragic to
It's
look
a little,
at.
yeah, it's a little bit much. Whatever. We're getting it fixed today at 1:30.
Yeah. It is really nice when you've got clean nails. It makes you feel like it does feel a certain way.
Yeah. You feel less fucking in shambles.
Yeah.
Now these toes, on the other hand, we can't even talk about those guys.
Oh, I just did my pedicure too, because I teach barefoot, and so
I feel like we should be able
always
to
think
use
about that.
insurance for this.
I feel you can get you can on your taxes, like it's something you're paying for your job. It's like part of a
I know. So
presentation.
listen, I called my tax guy the other day and I said, "Listen here, Jim. What is it like? Talk to me about the write-off."
Yeah.
Like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, that I spent $5,000 on gym clothes this year. Can I write that off? Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, you got a W-2 or you got a 1099? I got a 1099. He goes, oh, yeah, write it all off. And I said, do I got to give you receipts? He's like, I don't need receipts. The IRS might need receipts at some point.
But that's
He's
at like some
I
point they have to
don't.
ask for it.
Yeah.
And you're not writing. If you were writing off like $1 million, I think yes.
Yeah, I'm not rich enough for the IRS
But,
to give a
yeah,
fuck what I'm doing.
I think because we're that tiny.
People used to say that with travel nursing all the time. They're like, you can if you don't like claim your stuff appropriately or like whatever with travel nursing, like the IRS. I'm like, none of us. I understand travel nursing was flourishing a couple years ago, but we were still not making enough money for the IRS to be concerned about where we were moving our funds. Like we're not on the radar.
That's what because my dad still does my taxes with like his guy, and I was like, it's basically I spend the same amount each year from like gas to driving places to parking.
Mm-hmm.
Your outfits you wear, the way you take care of yourself, whatever, all of those are write-offs because you're doing it for your job, part of it.
I don't really understand the concept, but like, sure, I'll write off just about anything.
Exactly. What are you doing for self-care this week?
I'll probably sauna cold plunge. I've been on that.
Yeah.
We'll see how long this lasts, but I got like 5 weeks. If I go once a week, I probably got like 5 weeks worth of visits still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm probably going to do that. And then, I get my working out and my red
Korean
light and all that.
skincare.
Yeah, I've lost control with the Korean skincare.
I know. You sent me your screenshot. I was like, okay.
I've lost control. Yeah, I just got like 50 sheet masks.
Yeah.
For very cheap. But I do order through the Korean website. And then my friend yesterday was like, you're not scared about them like stealing your identity? I was like, honestly?
What are
Take
they going
it.
to steal? Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Replace it. Give me a new one.
Yeah.
Send me the skincare. Like, I
don't think they will.
I don't need to be me anymore. I just have to have good skin.
Yeah. No, I've been enjoying.
My face has been flaking the fuck off, though, the last couple
'cause
days.
it's real dry.
Well, not even that. I use like a
Retinol?
yes, microneedling serum almost. It like mimics microneedling. Yeah, like by the end of the show last night, my fucking whole forehead
really?
was like, Mom was like, bitch, what are you doing to your face? I was like, I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah. I'm doing before the wedding, like a bunch of facials and skincare and stuff like that. But
What kind
I
of facial are you doing? Like a custom? Or are you like a hydrofacial girly or
custom.
what?
So I did a custom facial. We did a really, really light peel. So she was like, you're not going to like peel. Like maybe you'll see a little bit, but nothing. And then we're going to do BBL laser, like to just like even the skin tone around my cheeks.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, I
here.
got to send you those pictures.
And then, yeah, and then just along with that, like dermaplaning and whatever else she puts on my face just to like make it beautiful.
Yeah, I could use
but
a
I've
good
been
dermaplane.
since I've been like on my gut health journey and hormone balancing, whatever, I'm like my hormones, just like my chin acne is just getting so bad, and I'm like, this all has to go away by June. But I know.
That's a big request.
I know.
At least it's under there.
I know.
It could be worse. It could be splattered across your fucking
And my
forehead.
mom was like, we can cover it up. No one will see it. And I'm like, I know, but still.
We can edit it out of the photos
I
later.
know, but still. You know, it's like just those things where you're like, I never get like acne like that. And then like when you do, you're just like, go away.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be if I ever have a wedding, I'm going to be the girl before I walk down the aisle with the weights, like getting a pump in just so that like
10 push-ups.
to make sure my fucking triceps are flexed on the way out.
Everything has to just like, you just want to feel and I think we should do a whole episode on it, truly. But like, I want to feel my best.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm restricting or over exercising or anything, but I am amping it up a little bit because I want to feel my best. And I don't think, to your point when we talked about it before, there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's not. And why would you, I mean, like, I think that whatever it is that makes you feel your best is what you should participate in, and I don't think you should let anybody tell you otherwise.
Agreed.
Like, there's too many things.
I think sometimes in therapy, at least going back to where we started, but like your therapist is like, okay, like, you know, like that could get really dicey because of like your eating disorder, and I'm like, I get it. But I'm very well aware, and I've done the work with you, and you should know too. Like, this is a triggering
You're
moment.
like, have some confidence in me, sis.
Yeah, but like also like, yes, it is very triggering because everybody on their wedding wants to look a certain way, whatever. But like, I'm also like, I'm not restricting, I'm not binging. I just want to look and feel my best. And that does mean changing your everyday habits and doing things like sheet masks and ice rolling and stuff that like maybe you're not doing consistently all the time, but now you are. Like, you just want to look and feel your best. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, listen, if anybody needs a sheet mask recommendation, if anybody needs a
We gotta
Korean
get those affiliate
skincare,
links.
yeah, like I know, I should. It's just I clicked on that, and I think they were like, "You're not an important enough American person for us to."
We are.
But I don't think they think that I am.
Well, they're wrong.
I have a lot of influence. I've sold a lot of products that I'm getting exactly $0 in commission for.
Also, red light mask. Ever since I wear my red light, like the one that makes me look like a robot, people are like, what's your red light mask? What's your red light mask? And they just had a 25% off sale. But we could also get affiliate links for that.
Yeah, like I'm constantly, people are like, make an Amazon closet. I was like, that seems like a lot of fucking work. I'll think about it. What do I have to do? Yeah, like I act like, instead of just like placing it in my cart, I could also add it to this fucking list.
Yes.
You know, I got a fucking recommendation for everything.
Yes.
I was saying that, I posted this TikTok about how like I can't ever just like say thank you for a compliment. I have to like,
Women can't do that.
yeah, I have to give like a 16-minute backstory with like before and after photos and like where I purchased the thing and all that stuff.
It's a thing where women are like, you'll be like, oh my God, you look so pretty. Okay, so do you. It's like, why can't you just be like, thank you? Like, why do I have to also give a compliment?
No,
to
someone says you
else?
look so pretty, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's actually really, it's not. Like, I can't.
I just changed my makeup routine and like actually lost 5 pounds. I'm like,
yeah, and all this stuff. Like, I can't even. But I had a bunch of people comment and be like, no, like, we love the recommendations. Like, yeah. I'm like, I got one for fucking everything. I have a recommendation for fucking everything. I've tried everything. I've read the review. If there's evidence for it, I've read the research. Like
Taylor's read the whole book on it too.
Yeah, on fucking everything almost, because I'm just like, I need something to do in my spare time.
I can't just sit with my thoughts. That's
I
actually
fucking
something
can't.
Darius said when I was editing the podcast. He was like, I was really thinking that like you don't ever just like sit. Like when you're sitting, you're also like editing a reel or like taking the podcast and splitting it, or you're doing this or you're doing that. He's like, you don't ever just sit. And I was like, I don't know if I know how to just sit.
I can't. I like, I'll be sitting, but I'll be like, in my head, it'll be like 9,000
I just don't think
million
I know
other
how to do
things.
that. And that's a whole other episode, too.
That's a whole nother, yeah. And like, you want to know why? I kind of think we've turned that into like a superpower where like, we're so busy, we can multititask and blah, blah, blah. And it's probably like a really big mental health crisis that we don't know how to like just fucking sit
probably
down.
stems
And
from like childhood and shit
yeah,
like that.
like it's probably, we probably could benefit from a prescription for that. And we're just like,
or
this
benefit
we're
from just
powerhouses.
like meditation and things like that, which like I'm always like, yeah, but then like I can't.
I can't either. Thomas is like, it's so good for you. Like, I need to
It
get
is
you
good
on
for
the
you.
meditation train. I'm like, buddy, let me tell you, I think you're going to outlive me because
There's many people that are going to outlive me.
I'm pretty sure like something catastrophic is going to happen in my head at some point because I don't know how to just like fucking,
Yeah.
That's all right. Another day.
Another day.
Another trauma.
That's the title of this episode.
It absolutely will be. All right. Well, lovely chat.
I know, all over the place. But I'm into this girl gab.
Yeah, I think that people, I love having a guest and our guests love being here and like it's a good time and I love that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
But I do love a girl gab sesh too.
Same. And let us know if you like a girl gab sesh, but I do feel like
Mostly
all over the
because I
place.
can't always get in with my therapist.
Yeah.
So this is a convenient time for me.
This is where we really divulge everything.
This is a convenient time for me to.
And there's lots of shit going on in the world, so we can hit on that too.
Should we talk about our event really quick?
Hell yeah, we should.
Yeah.
April 5th, 1:30 p.m. At We the People Studio in like Lincoln Yards-ish area. You'll be hitting it off with a HIIT class.
Yeah, we'll do a little strength hit sit chew.
We'll end it with a yoga class. And I mean, we're still getting into like the dirty deets of everything, but I think we're going to have B12 shots. All of our partners that we've had on the podcast hopefully will be there representing their brand. So it's kind of cool that you get to meet the people in real life and hang out. We'll have some opportunities for people to tell us where they're fine in their life or not fine, as we like to say. And am I missing anything? Hang out.
Just a good time.
Yeah.
A fun Saturday.
Like
Hopefully
grab the
it's
girls,
fucking
grab the
beautiful out.
guys, and just
Yeah.
like chill.
Come hang.
Yeah.
Work out, hang.
Sweat it out.
All the things.
Gossip. I don't know. Whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be really fun.
No, it's gonna be a
I'm really
great time.
excited. And
Yeah,
I'm excited to
me
see
too.
like the people in real life.
Yeah, for sure. Great.
So it's in link in bio. We'll link it in the show notes as well. But definitely come and check it out.
Please do.
Because that's where we'll remind you that everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Even though it's not.
Kind of.
All right.